People are always concerned about leaving the house. If I separate from my spouse, everyone tells me not to leave the family home. And I never really understood what that was all about. And the only reason, from my perspective, not to leave the family home is if you want leverage to make that person's life so miserable that they come to the table and give you whatever you want. But you have no less rights to family property just because you leave the premises. The two things you really want to make sure you've done before you leave would be to, if you've got children, don't just leave and don't just take them. And because then you're opening up Pandora's box to World War III, which means, you leave the house, you leave your little note that says, I'm off to my parents, I've taken the children, see you later. If you do something like that, that tells your spouse that you want to fight, and they're going to find a lawyer that will fight. Mm-hmm. And all of a sudden, you've spent $30,000 in legal fees that you weren't expecting. And maybe you made the decision to leave because you were afraid, or there's family violence, or whatever the case may be. But don't worry about leaving the family home. First, if you need to, and second, get your parenting plan organized before you leave, because then you'll know what your children are doing, and frankly, they'll know. Conflict is what impacts children. I've dealt with lots of children in my parenting coordination world where they're fractured, and they're fractured because of the conflict between their parents. And then you meet children whose parents have been through separation and divorce, who did it collaboratively or were amicable, and they don't even remember. They just know that they have a big family and two different households that they go back and forth to. So don't worry about the family home. If you need to leave, leave, and really try to get some advice before you do anything to make sure that you're doing it properly. Because the last thing you want to do is set yourself up for disaster and for your family.